Alright, welcome guys. We're here in the arcade over in my art room, and today we're just going to show you a new game I picked up recently for $100. Take it to the back here, and here it is. This is Ivan Stewart's Off-Road. It was really in some bad cosmetic shape, but the board's working. Doing a little work on the monitor. And really today I'm just going to show you what I've been doing on the bottom for the gas pedals. There's the accelerators, the steering wheels. We'll do those next. Let me take you over there. Okay, so this is the original, the base, or the accelerators, the gas pedals, and it was really in some bad shape here. So I really stripped it all down. Took the wood off. Here's the top part, this rubber part here. And because what I wanted to do on the edges here, originally I had this metal molding, but I'm going to put on a regular black T molding, maybe a textured T molding. So I went with the MDF here. I traced it out and I cut it out on a table saw, and I used a router and pretty much duplicated it exactly. You got the recessed holes over here for each pedal and the top. And then over at Home Depot they sell this in the flooring department. And let me show you what it's going to look like. Here's the pedals and the housings of the pedals. And the rust was so bad that it really ate into the metal. You could even see it as the light goes over the surface. So I'm probably going to hit this one more time with the textured paint to help cover up all that. But I really soaked this in white vinegar for a few days. Went over it with a Dremel tool to just clean it up. Wear your safety glasses with that, because those little barbs shoot all over the place. And when you take it out of the white vinegar, pretty much mix up a little baking soda and water, and that pretty much stops the rust process. After that, I just cleaned it up with a little WD-40. Let it sit for a little while, a couple days actually, and then hit it with some denatured alcohol and primed it, painted. So let me show you what that's going to look like right now. Okay, so I just placed these on top just to show you what it's going to look like, and it's a huge difference from before. Again, I'm going to hit it with some textured paint. You can see how the rust really ate this up. But by just using some white vinegar, apple vinegar I think is the strongest, I've researched it, let it really sit in there, and that's going to take a lot of your rust right off of it. It really helps clean it all up. So we'll be back, I'll show you the next steps. See you later. Okay, here is the base for the off-road accelerator pedals. I pretty much used a vinyl laminate on here, spread it out, troweled it over with a notch trowel to give it some tooth. And then I pretty much laid this on and flattened it with a whole bunch of weights overnight. These were routed out with a straight bit router, and then I cut the rest. Then I put on the vinyl, and I cut this out with the X-Acto knife, and I just glued that bottom on there. Did the same in the middle here. Routed it, covered the whole thing with the vinyl, used an X-Acto to cut it out. And I just took the cutout piece and I stuck that on the bottom. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting on the base. This is the pot. I think it's a potentiometer. It's pretty much hooks up to a spring to your pedal. But I noticed here that the wires have to get through from the pedal. They go down through a hole, and then I guess it goes out and up. So I'm marking them with a little dot where I'm going to drill, and then we're going to start to put it all together. Ended up using a, let's see, 16th of an inch slot cutter on the router, and it's a bit that I think it goes 9/16 of an inch deep. So I routed all of that, pretty much secured this on a piece of wood, and routed the whole thing, and then using a rubber mallet I attached that T-molding. I started the T-molding back here, so it's clean, you won't see it, and I'm not sure if I have to notch this out, but if I do, that's okay. So there it is, and we're going to start putting it together. I'm going to drill a couple holes again for the wires over here and on the other two. I just marked it where the wires get fed, and then it goes out to that Molex connector. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, here's the final product for the base of Ivan Stewart's Super Off-Road. It's all done. And the worst part about it is there was still some dents on this, but I took all the rust off. Got all the wires, they're all tested and working. Everything's clean, neat, and I put some nice grip tape on here. This thing's ready to go. All right. Here is the off-road steering wheel attachment here. Going around. Doesn't look too bad. For 20 plus years, whatever it is. Get some gum. T-molding's a little shoddy. The metal here is, see, it's seen better days. Top isn't too bad, except for got a couple cigarette burns and smokers, and just a little dirty. So we're gonna try to clean this. Try to clean this thing up. All right. Here's the bottom of the steering wheel box, the steering wheel cabinet. That's the top of it. We're just fixing some things in there. But what we did recently was we took out a lot of the loose particle board that was in here, and this is a piece of a whole chunk that was pulled out because it was really loose. And again, you want to get all the soft stuff out of there. Get all the soft wood out, and then I put 2 coats of Bondo in, one just to fill in the hole crudely, let it dry, sand it, and then I put a second coat on, sanded it down, and right now this is the result. Everything is smooth. I could either paint this or I could put on the black adhesive paper, whatever that's called. And this thing's ready to put back together. So this part's done. We'll switch up the T-molding. I'm just strengthening parts of it. And we're ready to put this thing back together. All right. on the Ivan Stewart Super Off-Road, and what I want to show you is the inside of my Wells Gardner K7000. It was working when I bought it, and when I took it home, I quickly learned that it wasn't working, and after inspecting the board, in the back there where those two blue clips are, that's where a fuse was, and somehow the whole fuse block there, which is shaped like two-letter U's, broke off. And so my quick fix was just to put a little fuse housing there, get the correct, I think this is a 2 amp slow burn fuse, and I just pretty much connected the fuse to the side, and now it works. Problem solved, on to the next. Today I'm working on the cabinet, and before I put any decals on this, we're going to go around the machine, around the cabinet, and I circled all the spots where on the edge here the particle wood has been compromised and it's really flaky. So the first thing you want to do here is you want to get all of the loose particle board off. You know, you could use an X-Acto. I like to use a metal wire brush here. Get it all out, all the loose debris. Then I took an X-Acto knife and I really just cut it out. So this is pretty strong already in here, and this is just about ready. And the reason why I circle it is because when I use this Bondo, all-purpose Bondo, it's going to set up really quick. So I don't have time to go and find all the holes. I want to do them really quick, be done with it. So my next step is I'm going to put a straight edge on here. I'm going to screw it in, and I'm going to shove all that Bondo in there, let it dry, sand it down, smooth the whole cabinet out, and then this machine, before you put on the Ivan Stewart decals, there's I got a big roll of this black leather type of, it's got this leathery look. It's a giant black roll decal, and you roll it on the entire machine, and then you put the Ivan Stewart decals on. So we want to do it right. You want to prep the surface up, sand it down, and then we'll apply that decal. So we'll be back. Let's see how it works out. Okay, we have put on 1 coat of Bondo, and I took it off, and now I just spot checking the Bondo. I went around, and I'm just using some paper. It's got a little laminate on it so the Bondo won't stick to it. I'm just using some pins here. I've used old T-molding in the past just to make a little bit of a mold for it. Hold it in and push that Bondo right up against the edge here. So now when this dries, I could give it a good sanding. I found a couple dents and divots on the surface itself. So that's it. We're going to let this dry. It should dry in about 15-20 minutes. Give it a sand, and then we're ready to put on the black adhesive sticker. Alright, and that's it right now for Ivan Stewart's Off-Road, Super Off-Road. We'll be back. Okay, the Bondo is dried, and I removed the paper forms that I had on the edge here. Some of the paper did stick to the sides, but that's fine. If anything, that would make it stronger. So the next step is I use this scraper with the razor on the end, and I just roughly took off any of the high sides. You can see it's a light pink where I kind of cut it off. And this part is yet to be done. So you can see it's just high on spots. I put a little extra material, extra Bondo. Now I'm just gonna scratch off the top lightly. Careful not to take off any chunks, or I could just lightly sand it. Just want to get this all down now so that the whole surface is really flat. Go over it one more time with a light coat of Bondo wherever I need to. There's a couple little pits over here. I'm just going to put a little bit more there. Sand it down. Then this side will be prepped for the laminate sticker. And we've sanded down the Bondo. Give it a really flat surface, smooth as I can get it. It doesn't look flat, but to the touch, it's pretty smooth. There's really a smooth transition from the wood to the Bondo. And I just filled up everything, sanded it down, even way down here. Got a couple nice crisp edges. I'm going to put a little more Bondo just in there, give it a quick coat, and then we're ready to paint it. We'll put on our decals. Starting to come together. Here's the coin door. We had a big hole from a security bar that used to be installed in here. It used to go right across the coin door, so there was a hole up here. There was a big hole down here. I'll show you that. So I really just shoved a dowel in there, secured it in there with a little hammer, tapped it in, and then sanded that down, bonded it, sanded it. So this whole front is almost ready. This side is almost ready. The bottom, I was able to take out the 4 feet that go in here. I got some new ones. I'll probably put a coat of paint on that. Why not? We're doing it. And the back, I'm going to put a new door on here. Big chunks that were taken out. So I'll just get some plywood, cut it, throw it in there, put a new lock. I've already painted the back of this. And painted at the top. Okay, getting closer. Okay, everybody, here we are at the final look at Ivan Stewart's Super Off-Road. I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. Super Off-Road, and came out great. A lot of work. I think I put about $250 into this total, $100 for the machine. The decals were about $150. You get 2 side arts. You get the one on the top of the steering wheel, and these are decals here, yellow, red, blue, from thisoldgame.com. Excellent product, highly recommended. I think I purchased about 20 feet of the black vinyl that's rolled on there, squeegeed nice and flat so there's no bubbles in it. All the vinyl's been bent around, then trimmed, then the T-molding's added. I went completely around the entire machine on it with the T-molding. Originally there was a texture T-molding. We did it smooth all around. I even did it smooth on the pedals down there. They're a little dirty now from sneakers, but that's expected. What else? A couple things I didn't show you earlier. Inside of here there's a new light. Let's turn it on. You know, I painted the back. I even re-glued the model number on it. Turn it on. Okay, that's just firing it up. Speaker grill, cleaned, painted. All the brackets on the here, right up there on the very top, those are all cleaned up. Every screw on the entire machine, even on the steering wheel here, these are all cleaned up, painted. The steering wheels themselves, again, taken apart, polished. They weren't that pretty before, but in order to get it out, in order to get to it, you had to take the whole thing apart. So this whole machine was a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. Looks great. And as you go down, I have 3 illuminated buttons here for the credits, and I just tied those into the coin doors here. Press it. Starts up your game. Alright. The buttons. And this guy's spinning really nice. Very good. Really nice. One problem with this is I drilled this in after the steering wheel was all taken apart, and I really got lucky because behind here there's a big metal bracket that the steering wheel mechanism attaches to. So I was kind of forced to drill through this like 1/8-inch steel, and it took a lot, and it was smoking all over the place, but I like where the button location is. It's easy for the kids to play it. And finally, since Ivan Stewart drove a Toyota, I put a little coin door TRD for Toyota Racing Development. So, nice little touch. So that's it. Any comments? Let me know. Any questions? That's it. Thanks for watching.